Alright, everybody. I tried to do a whatever Jamaican accent. This is Nate and Beth coming your way. It was like a combination of Canadian and who the hell knows what.
Canadian constipated.
Constipated Canadian. Nate and Beth coming your way to basically review.
Season 2, Episode 2 of Friday the 13th, the TV series, The Voodoo Mambo.
This episode is called the Voodoo Mambo, and honestly, there was so much going on, so many details. We don't think we're gonna be able to even scratch the surface, so I don't think we're gonna bother. But before I forget, one thing I do want to mention is this film being, or the series rather, being filmed in Canada, just like the original film My Bloody Valentine. This features, it's kind of a bummer she's got such a small part, but the main blonde character from the film is Lori Hallier, or however the hell you say her name, is featured in this episode in a very small part. I want to say she's the first kill out of 6, freaking whopping 6 kills. I think I want to say at least one of them's off camera, but I think I'm gonna pretty much hand it over to you and you frickin' yeah. Well, you can start us off by
Well, there's a lot of
explaining it.
lore in this, voodoo lore. Basically, it opens up to a Jamaican festival, which we think is in New Orleans,
Well, yeah. At first, I was like, "Oh, is this New Orleans?" And then it turns
like
out that
Mardi Gras
the
kind of
thing was
deal.
happening right outside Curious Goods. So I'm like, "Nah, it's Chicago." I mean, I think this is supposed to take place in Chicago. They might have mentioned that, like in the beginning of season 1. I think it's supposed to. I don't know why I think that. I just think they mentioned it. And anyway, Beth's just looking. I guess I did. Okay, I'll shut up.
So there's this festival for solstice, and Mickey and Ryan are trying to get Jack to go join the festivities, and Jack is like, "No, I'm waiting for a friend." And he's like this fire god for this voodoo celebration, and his granddaughter is going to become a priestess. So there's a god of the 4 elements, the fire, water, air, and earth. And earth, I don't know if I did that right.
Earth, air, fire, water.
Earth, air, fire, water. So, yeah, because the friend is fire. Um, with that as kind of part of the background, they cut to this preppy guy walking out of this house and kind of getting mad at what was being said in a quote unquote meeting. And an older guy comes out and says, "Well, if you'd listen to the end of the meeting, well, I'm not going to be scared by you." The young boy kind
You'd
of
know that you're homeless
counters.
now.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, "No, I'm going to go home." He's like, "You have no home." So
Oh, I don't even understand what that plot point had to do with anything.
the father of the preppy boy
And
was the friend of the lawyer who took everything away from the son.
but I don't understand what that has to do with the voodoo.
The father died.
Ugh.
And see, it has. Yo, just give me a second.
Okay, yo.
Yo. So the son goes home to find the lady from My Bloody Valentine as the real estate who's taking over the property, and she gives him an hour to get all of the stuff out. And the home looks like a party home. So he goes down to the basement and comes across this crate that he didn't recognize, and inside the crate is a mask, a voodoo mask of snake, like a snake god or whatever. And he instinctively puts it on, and the mouth opens up. The eyes glow red, and the mouth opens up, and a snake actually takes the throat, which is the soul of the realtor.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of this episode. In this episode, that aspect of it, kind of, this mask with this kind of scary snake. Almost like I couldn't tell if shots, some of them were stop motion animation, but regardless, they have this cool gimmick where a snake comes out of the mouth. So that aspect of this episode reminded me of some of the early episodes in the season one. Really fun kind of gimmicks, you know.
Animated mask.
Yeah, and so yeah,
So
that's
that
my.
is where the voodoo comes in, honey.
But I still don't understand what this white kid has to do with it. But he's just the one who has the mask, I guess.
The father owned the mask, and that is how he got so much property through the plantation. This was the mask that scared all of the
That's right.
workers
Now
into
I remember that.
producing more, whatever,
Okay.
more goods. So the son actually squandered away the father's riches that were gained from the mask. But the mask was not really powerful until, I mean, maybe the father saw it in the goods store, thought it was cool, and just never unopened it. But the mask was a part of the inventory of a Curious Goods when it was owned by Lewis, which is how the mask got its powers.
Did you mention that once this mask is kind of taken out of the crate, it tells this kid, what's he got to do? Kill 4 people?
Kill 4 priests.
And he'll be the master of the universe.
Yeah, He-Man, master of the universe. But, so they kill 3 out of the 4 priests. I think it was air, water, and
Too many details for me to possibly.
and earth. But he didn't get fire because fire was the grandfather of the young girl who was supposed to become the next priestess.
Oh, by the way,
And fire was the husband of the spirit that is taking over the mask. So it was like her great grandmother. Her grandmother was the soul inside the mask.
I almost forgot to mention that early on they showed these actual authentic whatever
Rituals.
black and white, maybe from the 50s or 60s, is footage of actual whatever voodoo rituals, and they're like taking a chicken and holding it by the head and like whipping the body around and then cutting. They show actual footage of like just slicing a chicken's neck and bleeding all over. Jesus, you can understand why the hell the whatever certain groups got after this series, but not to say it's you know they were right or should have gotten it, you know, discontinued. But I do want to say that first kill with the snake coming out and getting, you know, chick from My Bloody Valentine in the neck was pretty gory.
Yeah.
For TV.
But those were all the kills were like that. The snake coming out of the
But
mouth.
I don't think any of them were shown as explicit as the
Not
first
as
one, because they're kind of like, well, we don't need to show it, you know, every time, because now we know what it does, and yeah.
Well, they just show them holding the snake, trying to keep its soul in, but you know the snake is powerful.
And yeah, kind of looking at the screen-saving replay, Ryan spends the whole episode in this goofy white T-shirt with like Evolution 13 written on it. I'm just like, what the hell? And it's funny because it's got red splats all over it, so when he got attacked by the crow, you can't even tell what's blood or what's T-shirt paint. But yeah, this episode was just chock full of way too many details for me. But I'm gonna go, you know, I'll go the half star, which is like my not a star, sorry. Oh my God. This is we do thumbs. I don't even know how we started doing thumbs with this series, but we might as well.
I was doing stars and you changed it to thumbs.
Nah, I think it just began as thumbs. Anyway, to keep continuity, we'll stick with the thumbs. So, you know, my thumb is like on the 9, so it's a half of a thumb for this. So it's part bad, part good, somewhere in the middle. For me, the thing that really wins me over for this episode is just the cool gimmick of the mask and the snake that pops out of it and gets people in the throat. And extra points for Lori Hallier, or however the hell you say her name, being
a part of the
episode. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give you.
She's gonna give.
You. a little bit higher than Nate. I'll put it on the 11. Not quite a full thumbs up, just a fraction
Just a notch
down.
under a full thumb. Wow.
Because they did pay attention to the voodoo lore, and I appreciate that aspect of it.
Beth, being a voodoo priestess herself, can verify all
You
of the
gave me your heart. I didn't steal it.
all of the details are accurate. And oh, we should also mention that at one point towards the end or whatever, this woman took a little doll and stabbed a needle into the head, and it must have been Jack's doll because he fell down. Oh!
Yeah. But for the simple fact that they did pay so much attention to the lore of the voodoo magic, I'm going to give it the 11 o'clock thumb, not quite 12.
Oh yeah, and also we're doing the replay here. They use the glow stick fluid for whatever, some fluid that comes out whenever the mask. I don't know. Fucking they use they use glow stick fluid in this episode. Oh, here's the funny shot of the reverse head coming up.
The water coming in.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
It's all before the water priestess was killed.
They probably didn't have
They did some really good effects in this.
They probably didn't have a shot of the head coming up, so the editor's like, "Ooh, I can use the shot of it going under as the reverse of it coming up." But it kind of gave it that supernatural look of like, the backwards water thing coming in. It is funny. It looks like Rana when he pops up out of the water there with the mask on.
A little bit. But yeah, I liked it. Just the music, the background, the authenticity of the artwork.
It was... Wait, what artwork? Voodoo stuff?
The voodoo mask. The artwork of the mask. It looked pretty authentic.
We're watching
LED lights for the eyes.
Probably not LED, but red lights for the eyes. And then did I mention that the young kid could be Leonardo DiCaprio's older brother, like Joe DiCaprio.
It does look a little bit like Leonardo.
He's got a big, huge forehead that doesn't end.
But I do hope that if you guys are following through this episode by episode, that you appreciate our reviews of these and enjoy them. Hopefully more than we do.
Meaning what? This is becoming a chore?
No, this one didn't become a full thumb for either one of us. But I hope maybe the next person who watches this will enjoy it.
It was nice to not have to freaking see Uncle Lewis finally. We had like 2 episodes with Uncle Lewis in a row, laughing, smiling in a mirror. It's like, give me a break. But anyway, now that we're approaching 13 minutes, we don't want to overdo it. What's the next episode in season 2, Beth?
And now the news.
Yeah, I have no idea what would a news anchor microphone. That's all I can think of.
I'm gonna say a camera.
News camera?
News anchor camera.
I don't remember I don't think we had a guest for the Voodoo Mambo, did we?
I think we both said a mask, so we're both right. We'd have to listen to it again.
Yeah, we don't even know what the hell we say on our own things. But
it was a while ago. Yeah. But I'm going to say something to do with the video equipment.
I'll say a microphone, and Beth says what she just said.
The video equipment.
Video equipment. All right, everyone. Well, before we hit 14 minutes.
Thanks for listening, kids. Hope you guys continue to listen.
Thanks, everyone. Catch you next time.